Coming in at number 10. What is an Enderman? Endermans were the first 3-block tall mob ever added to Minecraft. They are tall, black, and purple tones. Endermans take less damage from fire and lava than they do from water. It is also the sounds that the Enderman makes that people actually think are recordings of them saying hi, hey, what's up, hiya, this way, forever, and uh-oh. They've all been tweaked in different ways, but really though, it sounds to me that it's still just the space vacuum noise being sucked out of the eternity. Or they're just all up in your mug, and before you even realize it, it's just too late, and they're just on some gang sh**. Coming in at number 9, spawning. Endermans can spawn on any solid surface that has at least 3 empty spaces above the light level of 0 in their overworld and also the light level of 7. They also spawn in the nether or the so-called end. They are the only mob that spawns in all 3 dimensions, like there's really no way to really hide from them. Endermans spawn uncommonly in the overworld in all biomes except for the mushroom fields and the deep dark areas. Now sometimes they do spawn in the deep dark areas, but you know there's certain dark areas we know what we're talking about. They often spawn in pairs of 2, rarely even in a squad of 3 and even in a squad of 4. But like I said, they squad up on you and they're gonna bring all the smoke. Just believe me when I say look down, look down, look down. And make sure you pray that you remember your path is back to your safe spot. Going on to number 8, we have behavior. The Endermen, they can step up to 1 full block without having to jump. We need to jump. The Enderman's eyes are always still visible, even when they are under the invisibility effect. They do not teleport in the daytime. And if on soul sand, oh, I do love me some soul sand. Jeez, I just got those soul boots in the game and I love them. I mean, these Endermen, unless they're damaged, they can't get on that. And they definitely ain't gonna catch me with the new Sonic Air Max 22s on my feet. You know what I'm saying? Mans be boogieing on that sand. The Flash ain't got nothing on me. But teleporting is especially a pain. When you see them take off mining with your little block, they're sneaky as rats. Oh, don't forget about the occasional lurk, waiting for you to catch them looking. Coming in at number 7, Enderman is Slenderman? Notch claimed in a public theory, or like he said on Reddit, that the Enderman is a subtle reference to the Slenderman, a similar looking monster and also a similar name. Giving later development of the end, it is also possible that Notch already had this name in mind, and he maybe didn't just choose it because of the Reddit thread with Dropsy, nope, sorry if I pronounced your name wrong, saying Slenderman. Thus leads us with Notch also having to agree. Enderman was born, and honestly, they do act somewhat similar to the Slenderman. And the more you know about them, the worse they are. Just don't look them in the eyes. Check, got that. But still, it still seems to happen. The Slender drip, or should I say the Ender drip? No matter what, you're gonna see the Enderman. Going on to number 6, we got game involvement. Now, the Enderman is known to teleport all over the world, guys. Like you said, even I say it, you know. But did you know that the Enderman is actually playable in the game Super Smash Bros? As an alternate skin for Steve. Now, the only little difference is to note that he's not taller than Steve in this one, but there's also the Enderman spirit that gives him the same vulnerabilities, damaged by water. Just like in Minecraft, you have your favorites. Now my favorites are like Greninja and Blastoise, so I'm gonna say bye-bye to the Enderman, because those are water moves. Thank God we just don't have to deal with the gruesome screech when they die in Smash, because honestly we don't want to hear that in any other game beside the craft. Midway through, going on to number 5, how to kill. Do we really want to kill the Enderman? Like, sure, you look them in the eyes, they get kind of nasty, but we're like halfway through, and like I said, you guys are gonna want to stay, okay? They can be killed by melee attacks, water, lava, fire, which are weakest, you know, splashes by water bottles, or rain. Those are the most damage you're gonna give to them. They're not damaged when they're standing in a filled cauldron, which is in the Java edition, as I play on the Bedrock. Just gotta find me my Betty Rubble. That's a Flintstone reference, you know, Bedrock, Betty Rubble, Barney Rubble, yeah. Enderman just teleports away and they take damage from any natural source. Continue to do so until they find a dry location. They also teleport while taking damage from other sources, such as suffocation, poison, or wither. So when you're trying to kill this son of a gun, make sure he stays in one place. Teleporting is a pain. You gotta keep him trapped. Going on to number 4, the Ender Dragon. Boy, I'll tell you some stuff about the Ender Dragon. This creature is known as the Ender Dragon, destroyed the End and enslaved all the Endermen on the largest piece of the planet that remained. That's right, you heard correctly, my brothers, my sisters. The Endermen were enslaved. The dragon could control any Enderman, and it could see that not one had the will to resist. It flies above what remains, we call the End, commanding its slaves to go forth onto other dimensions and conquer in its name. The Ender Dragon does not seem to be able to leave the dimension it currently resides in, even though we've seen ways to get out of his domain. And he uses the Enderman to conquer the other realms. Why even doesn't want to conquer is just a mystery, as it's a motivation, and also the purpose is just also unknown. That damn Ender Dragon, who's gonna stand up against him? Me, that's who. Going on to number 3, and this goes back a little bit before the dragon. You know, long ago, or not so long ago, as the fabric of time in the end is not that fast. There sat a planet in an alternate dimension, just barely outside of our own. The name of the world lost to the legend, but now we call it the End. There lived a race of masterful builders, which now we know we call the Endermen. They held a society built around the idea of building. The measure of one's life was determined by the things one built, from the tallest building to the finest sculpture. Guess what? I guess you get a gold star for being the best build, you know, for having the best builds and stuff. Shoot, I would like a gold star, you know? Oh, what is this, LegoCon? But rather enact a war up and on each other, Endermen settled their differences by building, not by war, not by bows and arrows, okay? All the Endermen could do was build. It's in their very souls, and not even one of them lacked the skill of being an artist. They built so high that they even reached to space. Now, this is where the story kind of gets bad. Because when you build, when you have a lot of construction, there's just no more room to build. It kind of sounds like Toronto, right? Endermen fought amongst each other for dominance. Soon the population of Enders got cut nearly in half of its original numbers. Seeing the horrors of the war, a cold-blooded Enderman took matters into his own hands and began to destroy all the magnificent structures around. All the hard work, he went and destroyed it. Like, bro, he's had enough. The other Endermen were horrified at the sight of their own buildings being destroyed, these great monuments. So yes, they had to retaliate, and what did they retaliate with? Violence. They fought as if it was the Spartan War, until the weight of so many Endermen destroyed the space battleground. And where did it go? It fell right back down to so-called Earth, right? And what happened? The impact awoke a being, the Ender Dragon, from the core of the world. Its energy released imploded the End, causing the planet to shatter. Some chunks flew far into space, some were destroyed completely, but the largest pieces remained in the same single spot, and its inhabitants were left to face the vile creature. So yeah, he was pissed. Going on to number 2. Slave Enderman. Yeah, I said it right, Slave Enderman, as it wasn't even getting bad enough. The Enderman that we are encountered with in the modern day are the so-called slaves of the Ender Dragon. They have lost the free will and sanity. Sometimes their builder instincts still kick in, as you know, they come and try to steal some of our blocks and or stack them, but it's believed they've gone too far to be saved. The dragon has warped their minds and their forms, making them far taller and removing the capacity of intelligent speech. They know how to kill. But not only that, it's because they only know from war, from what they've seen in the war. For some reason, looking into their eyes just make them visible to other Endermen as well. Perhaps the soul just registers to them and we are seen. All creatures, all players, just like us, are able to be seen. And maybe just to Endermen, we just kind of look like dirt until we look them in the eyes. And going on to number 1, and I like this one, this is the finale, because you know why? There's always that free Enderman. Those few Endermen who was on those smaller chunks I was just speaking about earlier. Yeah, well, some of them, they did survive. And you know, they avoided the dragon's control, and so they retained in their original states, so they can adapt quickly to the new languages, build complex new constructs, teleport small distances, and remove material from the ground without tools. Sounds pretty cool, right? They're also shorter than their slave counterparts and possesses better dexterity. Now, there's a few number, and they're pretty rare in the dimension, but they're not hostile. And honestly, we don't have to worry about them. But if you do see them, just be careful, because it's like the gang is gonna come back. And if you see the gang comes back, hope to God they don't have the white Enderman with them, because you know.
In a 10, aw man. Remember when everyone was trying to get an aw man achievement added to the game? Like, damn, that was a good time. The entire internet was united behind a simple goal: to get the iconic line of aw man added to the game for something having to do with a creeper. Maybe killing a creeper for your first time, I don't know, maybe seeing one, I don't know. And honestly, we thought it was actually going to happen, or at least I did. And with the addition of the spyglass and the achievements for looking at various mobs through the spyglass, like the ghast, parrot, and the ender dragon, I thought it was guaranteed. But you know what? They still don't give us an aw man achievement for looking at a creeper with the spyglass. Come on! That was the perfect opportunity. I was certain that it was going to be a thing, but apparently not. Like, do better. Like, seriously. Creeper aw man is like the second or maybe even the most iconic Minecraft meme or moment of all time. But you haven't added it yet, but you'll add removed a creepypasta character? Dude.
Coming in at number 9, man-made. And this one I like to say man-made by ancient civilization, because one theory shows creepers were created by the ancients during an attempt to create a pig, or so we seem. A pig, right? It's always going back to pigs. Y'all remember the ancient builders when they used, you know, sugar, spice, and everything nice? These were the ingredients chosen to create the perfect little creepers. But Professor Notch accidentally added a little extra ingredient called chemical craft. Thus, the creepers were born. Using their ultra super explosive powers, have dedicated their lives to creeping around you, your town, wreaking havoc. And if unnoticed, I guess these ancient builders wanted an extra spice in their life, having creatures that explode, protecting their goodies. But one wrong move, boom, you looking for this? Your goodies be gone like whistling Dixie.
Boom! You looking for this? Huh? Let's go! That was really aggressive, I apologize. In an 8, why? We all know the story about how the creepers came to be. Notch was trying to code a pig into the game, but since he didn't have any visual software, he had to put in the dimensions manually into the scripts, and accidentally flipped the dimensions of the body, making the pig tall instead of long. But why did Notch see this monstrosity and think, yeah, this should be a monster that explodes? Like, seriously, what makes you look at a disturbed pig and think that it should be colored green and spontaneously explode all over players? Like, is it because it was originally a bug and bugs can make the game explode? Or am I looking too deep into this? Cause seriously, that's such a leap in logic. I don't understand the thought process behind the long pig into exploding green monster. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's iconic and like the best thing that he could have done since it's become like the symbol of Minecraft. I just don't understand how he came to that conclusion. And I don't think he talked about it in the Minecraft documentary thing either.
Coming in at number 7, we got something I like to call movement. Oh, these mobs just do all the creeping. Hold the TLC. Like, why you wanna creep? I guess it's because they are creepers and they're supposed to move slowly. Wrong. They only move slow when they don't notice your ass. You best be catching them before it's too late. If they laid eyes on you, your creeper will come for your life. And that's not even the worst part. Theory, or at least mine, is that you can't really hear them before it's too late, and that they are programmed to make our world a living hell. Prime example, my world, Land of the Lost, where we are building a so-called skyscraper so we can see our house from pretty much anywhere in the world, high enough that you can still hear pig step from our lounge. Yeah, that's right, I said pig step. Now I'm looking up at the tower, and what do I hear aside from the dirt nasty bass in my headphones? A loud explosion. I get sent flying, looking behind me, half of my entrance to my glass house is gone. These creepers apparently can climb better than zombies, even with having no arms. Like, where's your limbs, fam? You know what they say, losing one sense makes the other one stronger? Well, yeah, these creepers fall along the same conga line.
And it's 6 charged creepers. How are creepers able to be charged by lightning? Because honestly, this makes a whole load of other features that have to do with creepers confusing. Like, we can set creepers off with a flint and steel to make them explode, but a creeper can get hit by lightning and get superpowers instead of being forced to explode. Like, that seems kinda lame if you ask me. It's in essence the same thing. Like, flint and steel is certainly less than a frickin' bolt of lightning. A lightning bolt contains roughly 1 billion joules of energy, so that hitting a creeper and not setting off the TNT inside of it, even if it catches fire, is fine, but me right-clicking it with a flint and steel forces it to explode? That seems a little shifty if you ask me. There might be something else going on here, okay? Creepers are acting a little sus. I think I saw them vent. I was on cams. Are these still topical jokes?
Going on to number 5, we got habitat. Creepers are found everywhere in the world and in the underworld if you ain't safe. I mean, besides the nether and your house, unless you leave your doors open or escaping into the nether, which I don't suggest you do, okay? You want to safely enter and leave the nether at all times, especially depending on placement, alright? But aside from that, creepers are always watching you, and there are rare encounters, but be known, out in the open, they will hunt you down. Theories show wherever it is dark, creepers tend to show up, but between us, they don't give a shit about day or night. They will blow you and your most valuables up at any given time. They want the smoke always. Too bad I ain't sharing my smoke with them, okay? Sharing is caring, but I could care less about sharing with these goddamn creepers. The biggest theory are that they lived in the Egypt biome, that's a sand biome, alongside the ancient builders before making it down to the West Nile and coming into our crafting world. Yeah, not a fan.
And at 4, creepers are plants. This comes from the oh so benevolent MatPat, who blesses us with theories for various games between new FNAF theories. However, there is one theory that is one of the first that he suggested for Minecraft that makes us think, could creepers be plants? It's interesting, suggesting that creepers are actually a kind of peat moss, but there's even more evidence to suggest this that MatPat didn't even cover, like how it appears that the original texture for the creeper was a modified leaf texture, but just brightened and then with white added, which could have been an error where Notch saved it as a JPEG instead of a PNG, where the white ended up being where he wanted it to be see-through. But with the mob bestiary and such showcasing that the creepers actually have TNT inside them, maybe Mojang was just trying to course correct for the lore that they actually wanted now, instead of the lore that they had. Who knows?
Coming in at number 3, fighting the creeper. Okay, yeah, we know how to fight the creeper, but theories around the interweb showing us how to deal with them. And well, what's one thing we haven't really said, or how the creeper looks internally? Why is it so aggressive, leading to fighting this son of a bitch be a pain in my buttocks, alright? You see, the TNT in their torso being tied to their brains, like what type of Frankenstein experiment are these guys up to? Thank God they don't have toes, or feet just for blocks, right? Their eyes have 21/21 vision. Yeah, I said 21. But why must they explode? Do they leave spores on the ground to grow new creepers? Is that the new strain of Chiba? That's why these creepers be loving my lawn? I guess I'm gonna call that some quads, you know? It kinda be that in the couch strand, hold the munchies.
But ultimately, in number 2, Origins. Minecraft is an interesting game lore-wise. Like, everything we see had to come from somewhere. All the monsters, creatures, and buildings had to have a beginning, but what is it? One Reddit user going by the name Me suggests that the reason we have many different monsters to fight but no other builders is because potentially Herobrine changed them all into these mobs. Think about it. While some of these creatures like skeletons and zombies can be explained away thanks to them being reanimated builders, where did the others like creepers, endermen, spiders, guardians, villagers, blazes, and more come from? In this case, though, specifically creepers. Sure, we have explanations like the idea that creepers could be plants, but there is official Minecraft merch that showcases creepers with TNT in their bodies. So could these be ancient builders who were demolitionists or miners that Herobrine just converted? Probably not, let's be honest.
Coming in finally at number 1, weakness. Well, we are finally here, right? This one kind of gets me a little bit weak in the knees. I can hardly even speak on Creeper's weakness, okay? Like, we gotta be like Teddy Roosevelt and just go in for the kill, whether it is being a bow and arrow, crossbow, or a simplified knife. Or should I say sword? That isn't just the case though. Creepers isn't weak to the sun. It's the opposite. And no, not the knights. Believe it or not, they stank ass don't like water. And I mean, it's not like we could really smell them, but that's just dirt nasty in a bad way. Like, keep it clean, man. Let alone, they apparently do less damage in the water. Well, if that is true, why did I die in my game leading it to the water? Tell me. Either my game is broke or creepers just don't like to be weak around crafting J. Don't let me put my suit on and go straight Philly and smack the out of these creepers. Open hand obliteration. Going on to number 10, we have what is the Wither? Okay, so first off, if you don't know about the Wither, let me tell you. The Wither looks like a demon creature, and it is a black skeletal beast with 3 skulls as heads along its body. A skull here, and a skull here. That consists of a skeletal spine and 3 rib cages. It also has white eyes and a white mouth. Also, the sky will turn darker when you are within a certain range. The Wither will spin white while loading its health, and this mode is invulnerable. But it will not move or attack, only slowly fall down. When it's at full health, it will explode and send a noise heard all across the world. Yeah, a noise across the whole world. What for though? Is he calling for his homies? More Wither? And lastly, why is his death screech so loud? Christ's sakes, why does it look like he's from FNAF, the Nightmare Mango? Is the theory that once he dies and he's really calling for more Wither? For your soul, Lord have mercy on mine, please. I do not want the smoke from the gang of Wither. Hell no. Going on to number 9, we have something I like to call the behavior. This theory shows that the Wither is pretty much the crime boss of the underworld. An extremely aggressive demon that is hostile to players and all mobs, except Withers and undead mobs, of course. But they are a force to be reckoned with. These theories show they are kind of like the Watcher from Marvel, but with evil powers, using souls to bring them back to life. Upon noticing undead mobs, the Wither attacks with what you call Wither skulls. If a Wither shoots a skull at the non-undead mob, but the skull hits the undead mob becomes hostile to the Wither. But it still cannot deal damage. Each of the 3 heads allows the Wither up to attack, like I said, up to 3 different times. If there's no mobs around, the Wither will teleport right behind you, so you're not really safe. If you're shot by another Wither, it will shoot each other and rise indefinitely. What type of enemy has those Thanos-like abilities? Like, what the hell? You might as well give them the Infinity Gauntlet. But I mean, they don't really have those hands to snap, so I mean, Infinity Helmet? Going on to number 8. Attacking on their own. Now this isn't like what it seems like, you know, attacking on their own or attacking their own, right? Mobs are just not safe. Nothing is really safe when you're around these Withers, honestly, because these beasts can break blocks, let alone the theory that they are the strongest bosses next to the Ender Dragon. And you know how I feel about him. Really and truly. Maybe this might be why they're so aggressive. Having to do the bidding for the Ender Dragon, maybe even being in the shadow for so long. Maybe they just want to branch out. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it's just time to leave the coop. If you don't know what you're doing, then yeah, fighting with it is gonna be tough. They will never attack their own kind, like I said. so they won't attack the withers. But aside from that, it's a wrap when they have you marked for their target. Going down to number 7, the wither end boss theory. Yeah, there's so many theories about the wither being the final true boss of the game, as they say it's an achievement only unlocked by defeating the main game boss, which is the Ender Dragon. So why? I mean, I'm an achievement hunter personally myself, so if this is true, yeah, I will definitely try to do that. But me, I'm gonna wait till the end game. You know, but as I get deeper into this review, I'll tell you a little bit more about that. We gotta go through a huge freaking dragon battle of the gods and then take on an entity that resembles the weeping angels. Like, nah, what the hell are these flying skeletons? They're just dirt nasty. Yeah. Dirt nasty. Another theory is that you can face the wither before the Ender Dragon. Now, if this can really be done, like I said, I'll wait till the end game, but if you guys can do it, let me know. Going down to number 6, Iron Golem. Now, we all know what golems do and how powerful they are in the game. They are a force to be reckoned with as well. Now, you know, sometimes it's best to just leave them alone or make them a valuable security dog without the hassle of picking up after themselves. Theory is that a golem will beat the living heck out of a wither with ease. I have not done this myself though, but there is also videos around the web showing off golem versus hundreds of wither because, you know, honestly, an iron golem, that's just strong material aside from diamonds. But I mean, gold or diamond golem would actually be pretty dope. I guess these giants just don't care who's really in front of them. Just try not to piss them off. I mean, even if it's your pet, try not to piss him off because once he bodies the wither, he will come for you next. Halfway through, we're coming down to combat, number 5. Now, how do we fight the wither? We fight the wither with bows and arrows. While this isn't recommended due to its difficulty, this method is very common among players who don't really know about the advanced SWAT tactics for killing the wither. Theory is, if you want to have an easy time, loot, loot, loot like there is no tomorrow. A lot of the endgame gear material is needed here in order to beat the wither. And so it is somewhat a fair fight, or so it may seem, right? There's also the second phase, which is the worst, because yeah, he gets that Super Saiyan ring I mentioned earlier, and the man just goes ultra instinct, dodging moves, you can't do nothing. This becomes harder with the arrows because he's immune. Where does he get these powers from? The withering gods? Damn it, I don't know. This method is done without the golem as to why I didn't pair these two together. You want to keep running and using distance between y'all, shooting them with every arrow you got on deck, even status arrows. Also, if you enchant your bow and arrow, it becomes hella easy. Going down to number 4, skulls. The wither rapidly fires explosion projectiles called wither skulls, which, like I said, looks like the heads of their self, okay? Like, where are they getting these extra skulls from, and how are they shooting out of their heads or arms or whatever you want to call them, okay? There are 2 types of wither skull, a fast black one and a slow ass blue one. The black skulls explode with a blast power of 1, the same as the gas fireball. Excuse me? Aghast? Nah, fam. And it cannot break blocks with a blast resistance above 4. But wait, the blue wither skull are strong as fuck, but moves slower and breaks all blocks except for the few unbreakable blocks, as having a larger blast resistance, bigger than the black ones. In theory, the blue ones are deadly like the blue man group. I have yet to wither the strength for this one, nor do I want to summon the wither. Going on to number 3. We have In Ties with the Ender Dragon. Not a fan of the Ender Dragon, I say it all the time. One theory is that the wither was alongside the Ender Dragon in the land before time, which you guys know. Like I just said, I have it out for the Ender Dragon because, yeah, he was enslaving mobs. So in this game, well, apparently, the wither was kind of like the fly on the wall, waiting for the Ender Dragon's final command to use the obelisk and obliterate the old Minecraft world, leaving us, Steve, in the world we live in and craft in now. Like, really, now if it wasn't so bad enough finding out the real story behind these mobs, but now the wither too, how many people get enslaved by this damn Ender Dragon? Going on to number 2, difficulty. Yeah. Difficulty, it's a theory, trust me. The wither by far is the most dangerous, if not the most powerful boss in Bedrock Edition. Even more powerful than the challenging Ender Dragon, and sometimes considering as the main antagonist and the final the true final boss of the edition. Depending on the player's perspective, I guess it's just due to the fact that you get to him after the dragon. Now in the Legacy Console Edition, which is pretty much on console, right? The theory was that Wither was the strongest, but we cannot confirm because the Legacy Edition is no longer being updated, which kind of sucks. But we all are due for a change, as now the game is primarily focused on Java and the Bedrock editions, and I play on the Bedrock edition. There's so many updates that's going to flow throughout the game, and honestly there's a lot that has changed from Java to Bedrock. So no matter which you play, the Wither will still be just as strong, but just a touch stronger in Bedrock than Java, or so it seems. Why is the console version harder than PC? Is it PC supposed to be master race? Is this theory correct? Let us know. And finally, number 1, ancient builders. Yeah, we've touched on this subject before, ancient builders. Although the game's lore has never officially mentioned by Mojang, common theories about the Wither is that it may be somewhat involved or connected to these events, which caused the disappearance of humans before the player's arrival in their world. The role of the Wither is very optional when it comes to gameplay of Minecraft, whether it is created by the players so that they can slaughter it and get the Nether Star to create the beacon, which apparently helps your characters get buffs and upgrades. You gotta save the Nether or only use it for experimental shenanigans. But if the theory is true that the game is non-linear, then it may be true that we can fight the Wither before the Ender Dragon. Like I said, I might just wait until I beat the Ender Dragon before going to the Wither. Honestly, this is kind of like the end game, but just hold out the Avengers. Coming in at number 10, the Lost Cult. They were initially called ill-intentioned villagers. Minecraft developers loved the little witty play on the words, and that wasn't any different when it came down to naming the Illagers. The development team reportedly wanted something to match the villagers, but also act as a hostile force to the players that would need to fight. The idea came from the concept of the ill-intentioned villager, which was shortened to ill villager. This interestingly implies Illagers are perhaps under some sort of spell or disease that makes them behave so incredibly violent. Eventually the name was shortened to its current form, Illager. Tried to create Steve, but made zombies instead. Talk about a good experiment gone bad. Now, coming in at number 9, Illagers still talk and gossip with each other. Illagers were once villagers, but they got kicked out because of being evil or decided to be traitors. But because of that, many of their old traditions and things still stick with them, such as their crossed arms, the long robes, the big noses, and slightly taller heads. One of many things the villager does every day is gossiping or talking with another villager. Illagers do the same thing, although these Illagers meanies cannot farm, sleep in beds. They probably slept in a bigger and wider beds in their mansions, but we don't really know for sure, okay? Or they can trade. They can still open doors, climb ladders, and of course gossip with other Illagers. There are many things villagers used to do. This proves that Illagers were once villagers, vindicators, invokers, and the occasional illusioner gossip with another of their type. Maybe vindicators can gossip with invokers sometimes. I don't know, I would like to see that. Pillagers only stare at each other and point their crossbows, no matter if it's loaded or not. They do not care. They're looking for the smoke. They want it. They're ready, locked and loaded. Coming in at number 8, Illagers can attack each other in Bedrock Edition. Note, this is a strange fact because it only works in Bedrock Edition of Minecraft. Any Illagers can start a fight if accidentally damaged by another Illager. This includes accidentally shot by pillager arrows, accidentally thrown witch potions, and ravager roars. A pillager can start a conflict with another Illager, even the vindicator and the invoker, by accidentally shooting it, because ravagers are considered an Illager in the Bedrock Edition. Ravagers also attack pillagers that accidentally shot it too. So, they're going to attack no matter what. Witches, unlike the Java Edition, witches will attack pillagers if their arrows hit that witch, instead of normally drinking a healing potion. Although Ravager roars will not damage any Illagers or other Ravagers, they knock back Illagers caught in its roar without damaging them and have no effect on other Ravagers. They still deal damage to witches though. Witches that got damaged in the Ravager's war will attack by throwing negative splash potions at it and start another fight with Ravagers. Witches, when they throw the negative splash potions, they will throw it at players, Iron Golems, Snow Golems, and any other mobs that attack the witch. Sometimes the potion hits more more than just the intended target, which means that Illagers, Ravagers, and even other witches caught in the attack will attack the witch that threw the potion, which damaged them. Really bloody mob battles can occur between Illagers if this accident happens by mistake, and honestly, this is not something you want to see. I mean, I kind of want to see a blood battle between witches, Illagers, and invokers. That would be pretty dope. Coming in at number 7, unarmed Vindicators attack like zombies. Do you know what would happen if you summoned the Vindicator without its lovely iron axe? Many players assume that the Vindicator will still attack like normal, but without their iron axe in hand. That is Bedrock edition stuff, and we're talking about Java edition in this fact. That means Vindicators attack like zombies, with both of their arms raised slightly but moving at their normal attacking speed. This also means that the Vindicators without their axe, even without a weapon, will attack that way. Vindicators need to stay where they are and hold their weapons. We do not need another mob acting like zombies personally in our game of Minecraft. Like, WTF, like what type of noise is that, fam? I will willingly toss you an iron axe. I don't want that type of smoke, okay? Mans will be like Oprah. You get an axe, you get an axe, you get an axe. We all get axes, you know what I'm saying? Coming in at number 6. Unarmed pillagers are passive. In case most players don't know, these hostile hoarders have a soft side. It is possible to break its crossbow by making the pillager use it enough times. If the pillager's crossbow breaks, they will not attack anything, not even a villager, if they saw an Iron Golem that attacked it. Now, this is kind of more like it, you know what I'm saying? You could chill with the pillager, give him some of that chiba, and have a grand party. Just don't get them too drunk and leave the crossbow out, or you'll sober up real freaking quick, I'll tell you. Halfway through number 5, Vindicators aren't stopped by doors. I know we kind of already touched on this, but this gets a little bit more hot and heavy. Most hostile mobs in Minecraft have limitations when it comes to where they can go. For instance, skeletons, zombies, creepers, they can't open doors with the exception of zombies on hard mode and hardcore, of course. This makes having shelter a vital part for a good defense in the game. Vindicators, however, they do not care about doors. They are much more intelligent than zombies and swing open any wooden door in their path. You heard what I said, wooden. Put another type of door down, you should be fine. Alright, fact check me if I'm wrong. But if Vindicators are a problem for some reason, make sure you invest in an iron door. You see what I just said? Iron door. Alright, correct me if I'm wrong. But hey, get something strong, no wood. Number 4, the Invoker's weird passive spell. The Invoker found most often in the woodland mansions and highly covered due to the totem of undying he drops. It's quite the scary enemy. He sends vexes after the players, which incredibly difficult to hit or track as they phase through walls and chase after you for a good distance. The Invoker doesn't just summon vexes, however, he also has the weird passive spell which changes the color of blue sheep standing nearby to red. The purpose of this spell is a big question mark, but might actually be another Easter egg reference to the Age of Empire, where priests could convert enemies into friendly soldiers and therefore also change their color. Coming in at number 3, the Unused Illusioner Illager. This is going to be a tongue twister, I knew it was going to be. Illagers will likely see an expansion of subtypes in the upcoming Minecraft updates. While the Ice Logger didn't make the cut, it doesn't completely remove it from being a potential mob in the future. Same goes for the Illusioner, which was briefly added to the snapshot version of 1.14, but then removed from the final release. Illusioners would have actually been a terrifying addition to the 1.14 update due to their ability to go invisible. Imagine fighting them alongside Vindicators, Pillagers, a Ravager, and possibly even a Evoker. It would have made raids an absolute nightmare to deal with. Somebody that's invisible that you can't see? I'll pass. Coming in number 2, they are friends with witches. Illagers aren't the only creatures that roam in the wilderness of Minecraft and resemble villagers. There's witches too, who spawn naturally in the darkness of night or caves, or even the witch's hut found in swamp biomes. Witches can also appear during raids and will fight on the side of the Illagers. Despite not being an Illager themselves, they will actually use their potions to heal and buff the Illagers as they fight, which is a pretty scary combination. Like, being friends with the witch is one thing, but like I've stated, I would want more of the old school Sabrina. That new school Sabrina, she definitely gives me the creeps. I don't know what it is really about her, but she's a great actor, don't get me wrong, but that new age Sabrina, she plays it so well, it's scary. Alright, the old school Sabrina, she's just laid back, and that's kind of what I like to do in my Minecraft. I I just wish Minecraft had a Salem in the game. You know, that would be pretty cool to have a talking cat. Like, even if it speaks gibberish, I don't care. Just give me him. And finally, at number 1, naming a Vindicator, Johnny. Naming a Vindicator Johnny, not Johnny, okay? And reason why I say Johnny, you gotta put it with a capital J, okay? It will make it so upset that it will attack every entity except other Illagers and players in creative or spectator mode. This is a reference to The Shining, where a man breaks open the door using an axe and says, "Here's Johnny." In Java Edition, Johnny Vindicators attack Ravagers as well. Since Ravagers are not considered Illagers, even their witch allies will not live in a sight for a Johnny Vindicator. Johnny Vindicators will be great figures in the mob battles apart from the Wither and the Zoglins. This famous fact is known by most players, but naming a Vindicator Johnny will not cause it to attack every single entity. This is a rude violation of its name though, because most names have to be capitalized. So like I said, if you don't put it with the capitalized J, he won't attack. It's just plain and simple.
And at 10, Canon. Your mother, is she a Canon DSLR camera? Tonight on NBC News at 11. No. Not really. Notch posted on Twitter about the subject of Herobrine though early in its popularity boost. In a reply to a tweet asking if Herobrine was a real entity within the game, Notch replied saying that he was not, but that there might be soon. This confirmed that there was no Herobrine, but suggested that Notch planned to add him at a later date. Herobrine was first stated to have been removed in beta 1.6.6, but this was a joke, referring to Notch partially removing the human mob's essential code, making it unspawnable within the game. However, the introduction of the removed Herobrine tag in the update logs has in a way made Herobrine canon, since if he wasn't canon, why would he need to be removed? Even if he wasn't actually in the game, technically, I guess he was, just secretly.
Coming in at number 9, who is Herobrine? He is a legend almost as old as Minecraft itself, dating back to its alpha days. Stories of the spooky ghost miner rose to the prominence alongside Minecraft itself in the early 2010s, feeding into the game's early popularity in the gameplay videos and live stream. Your opinion on Herobrine, my homie, likely has a lot to do with how old you were in 2010. I mean, I was, 10 years from now, or 12, not look at it, I'm almost 30. But hey, if you were in your childhood gaming years, you may remember passing around the videos with your friends and believing he might be real. He is definitely real. If you were older, you might just say he was an old meme that you watched and it definitely got out of hand. But either way, the spooky legend of Herobrine refuses to be exorcised from Minecraft's lore, even more than a decade later. After talking with other players who'd spotted similar mysterious signs of their Minecraft worlds, they believe that our homie Brian to be a last of the Swedish player, the brother of Minecraft's original creator, Notch. They allegedly emailed Notch themselves asking if he had a brother, and the answer that they got is, "I did, but he's no longer with us." Objection, hearsay. That's all I have to say.
In an 8 manifestation. Herobrine is one of the most popular creepypastas of all time, let alone of Minecraft creepypastas, which he is the most popular. But with that level of popularity and notoriety comes a certain level of belief, even if unfounded. J. The amount of people who believe that Herobrine is real is extreme. Even those who don't believe typically can be convinced otherwise in the right set of circumstances. This idea of belief can actually be so powerful that it can manifest the characters. These occurrences are also known as tulpa. A tulpa is a concept in theosophy, mythicism, and the paranormal of an object or being that is created through spiritual or mental power. It actually has been on Supernatural quite a few times, and that's why I know its name. And this could be why there are so many sightings and instances of Herobrine, because we all believed it so hard that he actually became real. Well, we all, not including me.
Coming in at number 7, the Herobrine seed. A decade later, the Minecraft at-home project has managed to uncover the seed where the original creepy picture of Herobrine was taken. You can now visit the world yourself and that very spot where he was sighted. But Herobrine will be standing there when you arrive? Maybe. Herobrine may not be a virus in reality, but a legend spread like one. He became a topic of numerous threads on Minecraft forums, receiving a mix of alleged players' sightings and comments from other posters. Herobrine's mansion was originally created and published by Hypixel in November. Recently, they collaborated with Xantis to remaster the classic adventure map from Minecraft 1.10. This remastered version adds extra polish and several new features while staying true to the original experience of the map. I mean, that was way in the get-go, 1.10, now we're at 1.18.
And it's 6, real or fake? Not just the creator of Minecraft, and while problematic, whatever he was saying before retiring should and would be considered canon, especially since after all in the legend, Herobrine is said to be Notch's dead brother. Here's one of the most interesting responses that Notch has given. Quote, "The Herobrine stuff is awesome and kinda scary at the same time. It really shows how little control a content producer has over the content. I've publicly told people that there's never been any such thing as Herobrine and that I don't have any dead brothers, and that letting too many animals die in lava is a foolproof way to summon him, but that you don't need to be afraid of him. He only means well. He's looking out for you, trying to warn you of the dangers you can't see. There certainly are no physical manifestations of Herobrine that will sneak out of your computer if you leave Minecraft running at night, looming over you as you sleep with his pale eyes inches away from your face as he tries to shout at you to wake up. Sometimes you wake up with a jolt and he's gone, and all that lingers is the memory and faint echo of his wordless screaming." End quote. What? While saying that he is not real, Notch did indeed indicate that the possibility was there. At least, the very least he was indicating, if not flat out saying it. So, is Herobrine in fact real? No, not at all. Sorry, Jay.
Coming up in number 5, midway through Herobrine's origin. Yeah, Herobrine may not be a virus in reality, but his legend spread like one. He became the topic of numerous threads on Minecraft forums, receiving a mix of alleged player sightings and comments from other posters. He was obviously fake. He started invading YouTube videos as well, with plenty of players posting footage of the alleged Herobrine sightings. Others were jump scare videos based on him. Even if the legend Herobrine himself doesn't make you feel nostalgic, listening to the young players recount their sightings, annotated with red text and music, likely will. Years later, you can find the newly remade Herobrine sighting videos. His story has been told in a printed book, The Legend of Herobrine. You can find him in our list of best Minecraft skins if you want to make your own appearance of the famous spook. Now mind you, I want my own Herobrine skin, but he's going to be looking more like Enderbrine, I'll tell you.
And at 4, mobs. Minecraft is an interesting game lore-wise. Like everything we see had to come from somewhere, right? All the monsters, all the creatures, all the buildings, they had to have a beginning, but what was it? One Reddit user going by the name of Me suggests that the reason we have so many different monsters to fight but no other builders is because Herobrine changed them all into these mobs. Think about it. While some of these creatures like skeletons and zombies can be explained away thanks to them being just reanimated builders, where did creatures like creepers, endermen, giant spiders, guardians, villagers, blazes, and more come from? In this case, specifically creepers. I'm sure we have explanations for some ideas, like that the creepers could be plants, but there is official Minecraft merch that shows creepers with TNT inside their bodies. So could these simply be ancient builders who were demolitionists or miners? Yes, it's canon. Now, you're welcome.
Coming in at number 3, Herobrine mods. There is even a Herobrine mod that allows you to summon the legendary miner by crafting a totem of gold, bones, and soul sand. I love me that soul sand. Unlike early legends of Herobrine, this one is in fact dangerous. He can chase after players, summon animals, speak demonic looking phrases in chat, and other good fodder. For the Let's Play video of Terrified screaming and running, it's not just about old mods either. Around the 10th anniversary of Herobrine's first big splash, another modder created the Herobrine horror mod that adds creepy pyramids. Herobrine is known to build. That's my homie. He knows how to build a cursed forest biome and another creepy occurrences that prove that the dead miner is always watching you. On your shoulder, over your shoulder, he is there.
But ultimately, in at number 2, creation. We talked about Herobrine's origins, but while we have ideas as to how, we don't know why. Why was this character created? Was it not his brother, or was he something more? Why was this creepypasta created? Potentially an otherworldly influence that maybe guided the hand of the Brocraft stream? Was it actually real? These are all good questions, and we invite you to discuss them in the comments and discuss your own theories and ideas about the mysterious entity or figure or spirit or murderous psychopath caught in a video game as an attempt to possess eternal life known as Herobrine. Sorry, got into a different channel mode there for a second. I doubt that Herobrine is like William Afton.
It's safe enough.
Yeah, did I just open that door? God, did I just open that door? I think I might have. Top 10 scary villains that remind you of William Afton. I did this to myself.
Finally here at number 1, weapon of choice. The demonic voltage reaver is a giant sword with a predominantly black colors brimmed with bioluminescent purple color and silver linings. Upon usage, the sword will glow and fragment into 4 segmented blades with each segment connected by a purple ray and purple electric particles surrounding it. It's a lot of purple. I mean, I love me some grape, but I mean, damn. This is the sword's default form used by the swordman Herobrine. Upon activation, the sword glows and splits up into 4 parts connected by a purple ray and emits purple electronic particles. The sword can extend and be used like a whip. This form is used when the swordsman Herobrine engages in combat. In this form, the sword fragments into multiple pieces and purple electric particles somewhat similar to its previous form is also used like a whip, but attacked by lashing the sword's blades onto the target or by hitting the blade's tip into the target. So pretty much this blade is just throwing bits and pieces everywhere, no matter its first form or second form. It's a crazy damn sword, alright? The sword can also extend without apparent limit and bend to extreme angles, proving it to be perfect offensively in close range combat or range combat conditions and defensively. You can't stop Herobrine's weapons, bro. You really can't. Coming in at number 10, Herobrine's girlfriend. Alex Brine walks around a mine when she comes across Noob 53918, who is currently mining diamonds, until he noticed Alex Brine. However, instead of being scared of her, Noob 53918 asks if he and Alex Brine could be friends. To which she responds by striking Noob 53198 with lightning until he dies. And then she says that kill was way too easy. Then Herobrine is walking around the same cave system where he and Alex Brine meet, and at first they have a friendly chatter until Herobrine says he is the scariest creature in Minecraft, which causes Alex Brine to nearly choke on laughing what Herobrine said. He talks about how he finally found her and that her eyes look different than what they did when they last met, but that doesn't even matter. He begins to talk about how he was cleaning the room when he starts to show an embarrassing pictures of her to the point where Herobrine joins her in the laughing. This causes Alex Brine, out of embarrassment, to walk into the way of embarrassed to live whole. However, instead of mourning her, Alex's father, Alex Brine and Herobrine presumably go on a date. Alex Brine, you know, talk about a good love story. It sounds a little better than Twilight. Coming in at number 9, Alex and Fazbear's connections. Yeah, FNAFters. Yeah. We're talking about some of this. She goes to Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, and when he jump scares her, she doesn't even twitch. But when she jump scares him, Freddy Fazbear gets so scared that he runs into a lava pit and dies. Herobrine compliments Alex Brine, but says that she is still not as scary as him. So they decide to have a scare off. In this scare off, they scare a bunch of random players, like Bacon Crafter, a random guy in a red hoodie that they never met, exploding TNT, villagers, and buildings. They leave Pink Sheep alone for obvious reasons. After doing all that scaring, the two sit on the bench and begin to talk about how they had an awesome scare and complimenting each other about the weather. And finally, Alex Brine says, "Hey, Herobrine, I like ya." Coming in at number 8, she has a dark side. Yes, Alex Brine, she's very evil. Definitely has a dark side to her. I mean, women, they all have a dark side. Jeez. So does Alex. I mean, from her origin all the way down to destroying them into the cursed world. She was pure evil. She seemed to have little remorse and none at all for her enemies. She wouldn't care if she missed and hit a sheep. Sorry sheep, I'm not punching you, I'm hitting you. Sounds familiar, right? From potion taking and turning into giant Alex, she grows to an enormous size and will make your game a living hell. Because remember, I am not punching you, I'm hitting you. Hashtag Team Johnny for the win. Coming in at number 7, Origin. Summoned into the world by Alex. When Alex drank a potion called the Potion of Evil, they went onto a world that Parker discovered to get the last purple portal piece that they needed, which was the name of them. They entered into a world almost entirely of just slime blocks. They found a cave that had several odd purple slimes. The largest, when they neared it, got the wither effect, and when it finally killed it, they left a black portal piece. Sorry if I pronounced your name wrong. Log.zip and Alex then proceeded to die from the wither effect, and Log.zip was coming back. He got lost and went into the wrong cave. When they came back to Parker's lab though, he led them to a machine and put the piece in, and when they thought it would just turn into a normal purple portal piece. It also left behind a potion of evil, but it would have been better if Log had drank it. I'm just gonna call him Log for short. If Log had drank it. Well, maybe not, since Dark Log is like a noob, kind of like Alex. But Log records the videos. Alex then proceeds to steal the potion, and then she leads him to the central part, and then she drank it. It was hard to tell whether or not Log was grabbed by the piece or not, because when looked around, it looks like Alex had ran off with the potion, and Alex drank the potion and had the wither effect for 5 seconds. After those 5 seconds, she was not there. Dark Alex Brine was. Coming in number 6, Alex Dog, Demo Dog. Yeah, you're gonna hear a little bit about this. Okay, she has one known pet known as Demo, and he's very capable of destroying a whole village. In fact, he did. He massacred a desert village and almost wasn't stopped. Her ally Dark Parker made him for her, and also created demigorgons on that world. When killed, they drop an item called a slug that when placed, a slug would appear. Not much is known about them, except for a few minutes that they will get the rejuvenation effect, and Alex finds them disgusting. Also, is it the Demigorgon in Stranger Things? Like, nah, man, like this is a dog you're talking about? Like, you gotta be really twisted, Alex, to have this type of pet. I'm sorry. Ugh. Midway through number 5, Alex Brine has a weakness. Listen, if you got the needy Alex in your world, here's a couple of useful tips that can help you capture or kill her. Some potions include strong strength potions made using nether wart, blaze powder, or glowstone dust. Negative effect potions in splashable form to use on Alex Brine, such as weakness potions, poisons, or slowness potions. Yeah, so compared to our homie, Alex isn't immortal like Hero, but you will need a whole lot more work to kill our homie Brian, you know what I'm saying? As I gave you the sauce for his alleged girl, but I ain't gonna give you the sauce on home because he ain't got no weaknesses. Coming in at number 4, has Herobrine's powers but watered down. Such powers come with great wisdom. Telepathy, yes, all these entities have an ability for the most part. Super speed might be the teal blue blur, but the blue blur is better. And if you know who the blue blur I'm talking about, that's Sonic, alright? Construction of deadly traps kind of sound like she's doing the construction in Toronto because they're always working out down here. Cutting out people's audio, banning people from the servers after death, and turning players into zombies. Yeah, it's a cool aspect to probably one of the best ones, because if you think yourself is safe, not anymore. They will flame up, and once the sun rolls in, the zombies are done. But I mean, she's still summoning these zombies after you. Coming in at number 3, Enderman attack animation. Yeah, you heard me, it's another animation one, but this one is cool. Alright, this Enderman has no remorse.
Had your kids, had your wife, and had your husband, because
Endermen are in town. And who do they want? If you haven't gotten it by now, it's not us, it's Alex. And what does the Enderman have planned for her? Let me see. Ender Alex. Yeah, you heard me. Ender Alex. Because just now she was a top tier badass, and now she's off course to homie. He got his Enderbrine dripped out swag, but now she's got it too. But that ain't it. She's also under control by the Black Phasma and wields a trident. And definitely after a hard days of work, I just want to be chilling with my Minecraft. But hats off to Black Phasma though for creating this video and letting us dive into more animation and see Ender Alex in action. Coming in number 2, Alex Brine's Seed, but done by Rage Elixir and your boy Action. Alright, so one thing I must say when I enjoy making these Minecraft lists are finding the Mythbusters like Rage Elixir and your boy Action, the 2 YouTubers. They stay and see some of the craziest things. Now maybe it might be on Minecraft Pocket Edition, but still Java can get access to it too. But what happens when you load up your world when Alex Brine is in it? Just pure terror, horror, and yup, all the haunting that Hero does, but Alex Brine be acting like a stalking creeper with so much more damaging to your world. Like, hey yo homie, come get your girl. And finally here at number 1, Alex Brine is the new homie Brine. Yeah, right. Alex Brine is supposed to be the new homie Brine, or sorry, Herobrine, by Game Chap. Alex Brine is the same as Herobrine, but uses Alex's skin instead. Alex Brine is just Birdie in Alex's skin with white eyes. Although Alex Brine is mentioned in one video, it's spread it to skins, and at the end of the video by Game Chap mentions Alex Brine is just Birdie as Hero Chap. At the end of the video, Alex Brine message is X instead of E, and that goes to show you naysayers, Herobrine is real, because without Herobrine, there is no Alex Brine. Without Steve, there's no Alex to mine. So believe what you want. I believe in my homie. Y'all might believe in Alex.